Okay, ready to dive into another deep dive with me.
Let's do it.
All right, let's talk weight loss plateaus. You're doing all the right things. You're eating healthy, hitting the gym, but the number on the scale is just not budging.
Oh, so frustrating.
It's beyond frustrating. We've all been there. So we're diving into Healthline's 14 common reasons you're not losing weight to see if we can help crack the code for you.
Sounds good.
It's a medically reviewed article, so we're in good hands.
Yeah, I like that this article, it starts off by addressing a common misconception, right? That the scale is like the ultimate measure of progress, and it's not always the case.
Yeah, I have some friends that get so discouraged when they don't see the scale moving, even though their clothes are fitting better. It's like they're missing the bigger picture.
Exactly. This article, it points out that you could be gaining muscle mass while you're losing fat, especially if you've started like a new workout routine.
Oh, yeah.
And muscle is denser than fat, so you might not see a change in weight, but like your body composition is actually shifting.
So ditching the daily weigh-in obsession and maybe focusing on how your clothes fit could be a good place to start.
Absolutely. And the article, it actually suggests tracking your waist circumference and body fat percentage. Those measurements can give you a more accurate picture of your progress.
Okay. But how practical is it to, measure your body fat regularly? Are there any affordable at-home methods that you recommend?
Yeah, there are some smart scales out there that do a pretty good job at estimating body fat, and they've gotten really affordable. But even just using a tape measure to track your waist circumference can be really useful.
Okay, so we're not slaves to the scale. That's reassuring. Now, the article also dives into a pretty obvious culprit, right? Eating too much. But I feel like sometimes it's not even about willpower. Life gets crazy, schedules are packed, and suddenly you're ordering takeout 3 nights in a row.
Right, and the article, it acknowledges that it's not always a simple equation of calories in versus calories out. It highlights the power of keeping a food diary, which can help you become more mindful of not just what you're eating, but also your portion sizes.
Yeah, it's like that saying, what gets measured gets managed.
Exactly.
And speaking of things that can throw a wrench in your weight loss efforts, the article also touches on binge eating.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that binge eating disorder is a serious condition that often requires professional help. If you're struggling with this, please reach out to a healthcare professional. They can give you the guidance and support you need.
Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about how we eat. The article brings up something I'm definitely guilty of, eating too fast.
Oh, yeah. Think about it this way. If you were having a decadent dessert, would you wolf it down in seconds?
No.
Probably not. You'd savor every bite, right? The same principle should apply to meals.
Yeah, it's like the difference between inhaling a burger and actually tasting a gourmet meal.
Yeah.
So slowing down, practicing mindful eating, that can make a difference.
Exactly. Mindful eating can help you tune into your body's fullness cues, which can prevent overeating and may even lead to, better weight management over time.
That's a really good point. It's not just about what we eat, but how we eat it. Okay, let's move on to a topic I always get excited about, protein. I'm a firm believer in its power for weight loss.
And you're right to be. The research backs it up. Protein helps you feel fuller for longer, which can curb cravings and prevent overeating. And it also helps preserve muscle mass, which is especially important when you're losing weight.
So load up on those lean proteins. Chicken, fish, beans, tofu. The options are endless.
Yeah, so many.
Now, another point that resonates with me is this emphasis on whole foods.
Absolutely. Food quality matters just as much as quantity. Whole foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. They're packed with nutrients and fiber. They keep you feeling satisfied, energized. They're naturally more filling than processed foods, too.
It's like comparing a bowl of oatmeal to a bowl of sugary cereal. The oatmeal will keep you full and focused for so much longer.
Exactly. And always be on the lookout for those sneaky processed foods that are disguised as healthy. Always read those labels carefully.
Okay, before we delve deeper into some of the less obvious reasons for weight loss plateaus, let's quickly touch on a few more points from the article. Exercise is obviously important.
Yes, but it's not a magic bullet. While both cardio and strength training contribute to weight loss, they're most effective when they're paired with a balanced diet.
So no more excuses to skip those workouts, but we can't rely on them to just magically melt away the pounds if we're not paying attention to what we're eating. What about sugar? It's pretty much public enemy number 1 these days.
It is, rightfully so, and it's lurking in places you might not expect. Even like seemingly healthy drinks, like vitamin water or certain fruit juices, can be loaded with sugar, and those extra calories can definitely hinder weight loss.
And speaking of things that can sabotage our weight loss efforts, the article mentions sleep deprivation.
Sleep is so crucial. Poor sleep is linked to weight gain, and it can make it harder to lose weight. It messes with your hormones, including those that regulate your appetite, and it can leave you feeling tired and more likely to reach for sugary snacks for that energy boost.
It's like sleep is the foundation of a healthy lifestyle. Right along with diet and exercise, we can't neglect it. Okay, quickly running through a few more points, the article talks about carbs and debunks a common myth about needing to eat frequent small meals.
Right, the research shows that meal frequency doesn't actually significantly impact weight loss. What's more intriguing is this concept of intermittent fasting, which has gained popularity for its potential weight management benefits.
Interesting. And of course, we can't forget about good old H2O.
Drinking water, especially before meals, can help you feel fuller and may even slightly boost your metabolism. It's a simple habit with potential benefits.
Now, things are about to get really interesting. Let's dive into some of the more nuanced reasons behind weight loss plateaus, starting with the one that always sparks debate: alcohol. Does it make you gain weight, help you lose weight, or is the truth somewhere in between?
The relationship between alcohol and weight is complex. It can affect your appetite and how your body processes calories in a variety of ways.
Okay, so spill the tea. What's the verdict?
Well, while the research is somewhat mixed, one thing is clear. If you choose to drink, opting for spirits with zero-calorie mixers can help minimize calorie intake. But there's a lot more to consider.
Ooh, I'm all ears. This is where I think things get really interesting. What are some of those other factors?
Well, alcohol can disrupt your sleep, which we already know is crucial for weight management. It can also affect your hormone levels and decrease your motivation to exercise, both of which can impact your weight loss efforts. Plus, alcohol can lower your inhibitions, leading to poorer food choices.
Wow. So it's not just about the calories in the drinks themselves. It's about this, like, potential domino effect that alcohol can have on our overall habits and hormones.
Precisely. And it highlights the importance of looking at weight loss holistically, considering all these interconnected factors.
Yeah.
It really shows how interconnected everything is. And the article touches on something that I think is really important, which is that certain medical conditions can make weight loss more challenging.
Right. It's not always a lack of willpower or effort. Sometimes there are, like, underlying health issues at play.
Exactly. Conditions like hypothyroidism and polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, can impact your metabolism and hormone levels, making it harder to lose weight.
So if you're struggling, despite, like, your best efforts, it's crucial to rule out any underlying medical conditions. Talk to your doctor. Now, this next point is a bit of an elephant in the room: processed food dependence. It can feel almost impossible to break free from those cravings.
It's a real struggle for many people, and the article acknowledges the difficulty and even hints at, like, the emerging research on food addiction.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Is there any validity to the idea that certain processed foods can actually be addictive?
It's a relatively new area of research, but it is getting more attention. Some studies suggest that highly processed foods that are loaded with sugar, fat, and salt can trigger addictive-like behaviors in certain individuals.
That makes sense. It's like those foods hijack our brain's reward system, making us crave them even when we know they're not good for us.
Exactly. And it's not just about willpower. If there's a biological component to these cravings, it's crucial to seek professional help. There are therapies and strategies that are specifically designed to address food addiction and help people break free from those unhealthy patterns.
That's really helpful to know. It's empowering to kind of understand the science behind these challenges and know that there are resources available. Now, the article also emphasizes the importance of realistic expectations.
Absolutely. Sustainable weight loss takes time and consistency. It's not a race, it's a journey.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in those before and after photos and think, why am I not seeing those results? But those images are often very carefully curated, and they don't always reflect realistic, sustainable weight loss.
You're right. Everyone's body is different and will respond to diet and exercise in their own unique way. What matters most is finding a healthy weight that feels good for you, both physically and mentally.
Out of all these factors we've talked about so far, what stood out to you the most?
Honestly, I'm struck by how the article highlights the psychological aspect of weight loss. It's not just about calories and exercise. It's about our mindset, our emotional well-being, and our relationship with food.
Yeah. We've talked about, like, the dangers of negative self-talk and unrealistic expectations, but the article only briefly mentions, like, food addiction. I'm curious, is that like a recognized medical condition?
It's still being debated in the scientific community, but there's growing evidence to suggest that for some individuals, highly processed foods can trigger those addictive-like behaviors, making it incredibly difficult to moderate their intake.
So it's not just about willpower. There might be an actual biological component at play.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to avoid judgment and seek professional help if needed. There are therapies and strategies that can help people address food addiction and develop a healthier relationship with food.
Let's move on to something the article mentions, but doesn't go into a ton of detail about: abdominal fat. I know it's not just a cosmetic concern, it's linked to serious health risks.
You're right. Belly fat, also known as visceral fat, is the type of fat that surrounds your organs, and it's been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and other health problems.
I've always wondered, is there any truth to the idea of spot reduction? Can we, target belly fat specifically?
Unfortunately, no. You can't spot reduce fat from specific areas, but there are things you can do to reduce overall body fat, which will in turn reduce belly fat.
So what are the most effective strategies for tackling belly fat?
Well, the article points to high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, as being particularly effective for reducing visceral fat. It also mentions intermittent fasting and a higher protein diet as potential strategies.
Those are great options to explore. And as always, it's best to talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian to figure out what's best for your individual needs and health status.
Absolutely. Personalized guidance is key.
Yeah.
Now, circling back to something we discussed earlier, I think it's crucial to reiterate the importance of measuring progress beyond the scale.
I couldn't agree more. It's so easy to get fixated on that number and miss all the other signs of progress.
Right. Remember, you could be gaining muscle while losing fat, which might not be reflected on the scale. It's helpful to track other metrics like your waist circumference, your body fat percentage, your energy levels, how your clothes fit, and even your mood.
Yeah, those non-scale victories can be incredibly motivating and provide a more well-rounded picture of your progress. They help you focus on the bigger picture, improving your overall health and well-being.
Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in weight loss discussions: stress.
Ugh, stress. It feels like it can sabotage even the best of intentions.
It absolutely can. When we're stressed, our body releases cortisol, a hormone that can increase appetite and promote fat storage, particularly in the abdominal area.
So not only does stress make us feel lousy, but it can also make it harder to lose weight. Talk about a double whammy.
And to make matters worse, when we're stressed, we often turn to comfort foods, which are usually high in calories, sugar, and unhealthy fats, for that quick dopamine hit.
It's a vicious cycle. Are there any, effective ways to break free from that stress eating pattern?
Absolutely. Exercise is a fantastic stress reliever. It releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects.
Oh, yeah, I can attest to that. I always feel so much better after a good workout.
And there are other stress management techniques like yoga, meditation, deep breathing exercises, and spending time in nature. It's about finding what works best for you and incorporating those activities into your daily routine.
Stress management is self-care. Okay, let's tackle another factor that often comes up in weight loss conversations.
Genetics. It's the classic nature versus nurture debate. While our genes do influence our predisposition to certain body types and metabolic rates, they don't determine our destiny.
So we're not doomed to be overweight if our parents are.
Not at all. While we can't change our genes, our lifestyle choices, including our diet and exercise habits, have a significant impact on our weight.
I like that. It's like genetics might load the gun, but our lifestyle pulls the trigger.
That's a great analogy. Don't use genetics as an excuse. Focus on the things you can control, your behaviors and choices.
Now, let's talk about something that's been getting a lot of buzz lately: gut health.
The gut microbiome. It's that fascinating world of bacteria living in our digestive systems.
It's wild to think that there are, trillions of bacteria living in our gut.
Right, and emerging research suggests that these bacteria actually play a role in our overall health, including our weight.
So a healthy gut could potentially contribute to a healthy weight.
That's the idea. While more research is needed, there are things we can do to promote a healthy gut. Eating a diverse diet rich in fiber is key, as fiber acts as food for the good bacteria in our gut.
So load up on those fruits, veggies, whole grains, and legumes.
Exactly. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi can also introduce beneficial bacteria.
It's good to know that fermented foods aren't just trendy, they're actually good for us.
And it's important to avoid things that can disrupt the balance of bacteria in our gut, like antibiotics unless medically necessary, and highly processed foods.
So a healthy gut is all about balance, nurturing the good bacteria and minimizing the bad. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about something that's a major source of frustration for many people: plateaus.
Plateaus are a normal part of the weight loss journey. They happen to almost everyone at some point.
But why? What's the science behind them?
Well, as you lose weight, your metabolism naturally slows down because you're carrying less weight, meaning your body requires fewer calories to function. And as you get closer to your goal weight, the rate of weight loss tends to slow down even further.
So our body's basically trying to conserve energy.
Exactly. But the good news is that plateaus are usually temporary.
So don't throw in the towel just yet.
Absolutely not. There are strategies to break through plateaus. One is to reassess your calorie intake. As your metabolism slows down, you may need to adjust your calorie intake accordingly.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. We need to be adaptable.
Right. And it's important to ensure you're getting enough protein, as it helps preserve muscle mass and keeps you feeling full, both of which aid in weight loss.
Protein keeps coming up as a key player. What about exercise? Can switching things up help bust through a plateau?
Definitely. Our bodies are incredibly adaptable. If you've been doing the same workout for months, it's time to shake things up.
It's like our muscles get bored with the same old routine.
Exactly. Try adding new exercises, increasing the intensity or duration of your workouts, or incorporating different types of activities like swimming, biking, or hiking.
Variety is the spice of life, and it's also the key to challenging our muscles and breaking through those plateaus.
And remember, consistency is key. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activity per week, along with muscle strengthening activities at least twice a week.
I think those are the recommendations from the American Heart Association, right?
Yes. And don't forget to listen to your body. Rest when you need to. Exercise should be challenging, but not overwhelming.
Now let's talk about a topic that's close to home for many people: emotional eating.
It's a common struggle. We turn to food for comfort or to cope with difficult emotions instead of satisfying actual physical hunger.
It's like using food as a band-aid for our feelings.
Exactly. While it's perfectly normal to indulge in your favorite treats occasionally, when emotional eating becomes a habit, it can lead to weight gain and other health problems.
We're using food as a crutch instead of addressing the underlying issues. What are some healthy coping mechanisms that can help us break free from this pattern?
Well, exercise, as we talked about, can be a powerful mood booster thanks to those lovely endorphins. And there are other effective strategies like spending time with loved ones, engaging in hobbies, practicing mindfulness or meditation, journaling, or seeking professional help if needed.
It's all about finding healthy outlets for our emotions instead of turning to food.
Now let's shift gears to another important aspect of weight management: portion control.
Portion sizes have definitely gotten out of control over the years.
It's true, and those oversized portions can easily lead to overeating and weight gain.
So how can we get back in control?
One simple strategy is to use smaller plates and bowls. It's a visual cue that can help us eat less without feeling deprived.
It's like tricking our brains into thinking we're eating more than we actually are.
Exactly. Also, pay attention to serving sizes listed on food labels. They can be a reality check on how much we should be eating.
I'm always surprised by how small those serving sizes actually are.
And when dining out, be mindful of restaurant portions, which tend to be much larger than what we typically eat at home.
It's like restaurants want to give you your money's worth, but sometimes that comes at the expense of our waistlines.
Don't hesitate to ask for a to-go box and save half of your meal for later. It's like getting 2 meals for the price of 1.
Speaking of eating out, let's talk about social gatherings. They can be a minefield of temptation.
Parties, potlucks, and happy hours can definitely be challenging when you're trying to manage your weight.
It's like all willpower goes out the window when we're surrounded by delicious food and drinks.
But there are strategies to navigate social gatherings without derailing your goals. One helpful tip is to eat a small, healthy snack before you go, so you don't arrive starving.
It's about taking the edge off your hunger. What about alcohol?
Be mindful of your alcohol intake. Those empty calories can add up quickly. Plus, alcohol can lower our inhibitions and make us more likely to overindulge.
It's like our inner food critic takes a vacation.
Exactly. And when you're choosing food at a buffet or potluck, focus on lean protein, vegetables, and whole grains.
It's about creating a balanced plate, even in a social setting.
And don't be afraid to say no to foods you don't really want. It's your body, your health.
It's okay to politely decline and prioritize your well-being.
Remember, social gatherings are about connecting with people, not just about the food.
Now let's talk about something that can be incredibly overwhelming: Dieting myths. There's so much conflicting information out there.
It can feel like everyone has a different opinion on what works best for weight loss, but there are some red flags to watch out for.
Like what? Give me some tips for spotting those diet fads.
Be wary of diets that promise quick and easy weight loss. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Those fad diets are often restrictive and unsustainable, and they can lead to nutrient deficiencies and other health problems.
Exactly. Focus on making sustainable lifestyle changes instead of chasing quick fixes.
And be skeptical of claims that certain foods have magical weight loss properties.
There's no single food that will just melt away fat. It's about creating a balanced and nutritious diet that you can enjoy long term.
And remember, weight loss is not just about the food you eat. It's about your overall lifestyle, including your sleep, stress levels, and physical activity.
Absolutely. It's a holistic approach.
Okay, here's a common excuse I hear all the time. I just don't have time to cook healthy meals or exercise.
Time is precious, but there are ways to prioritize health even with a busy schedule.
Give me some time-saving tips.
Yeah.
I'm all about working smarter, not harder.
Well, for cooking, try meal prepping on the weekends so you have healthy meals ready to grab and go during the week.
It's like having your own personal chef without the hefty price tag.
And utilize convenience foods wisely. Frozen fruits and vegetables, pre-cut produce, and canned beans can be huge time savers.
It's about making smart choices that fit our lifestyles. What about squeezing in exercise when we're short on time?
Even short bursts of activity can make a difference. Try incorporating movement into your daily routine, like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or going for a brisk walk during your lunch break.
It's about finding those pockets of time to move our bodies.
Exactly. Even small changes add up over time.
Now let's talk about something that can be a major motivation killer: negative self-talk.
It's so easy to get caught up in negative thoughts and self-criticism.
It's like those negative thoughts can sabotage our best efforts.
Instead of beating yourself up for slip-ups or comparing yourself to others, focus on your progress and celebrate your achievements.
It's about being your own cheerleader.
Exactly. Practice self-compassion. We all make mistakes, and it's okay to not be perfect.
Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. Now, on a more positive note, let's talk about the importance of support systems.
Having a supportive network of friends, family, or even an online community can make a world of difference.
It's like having a team in your corner, cheering you on and providing encouragement.
And they can hold you accountable and help you stay on track. Don't be afraid to reach out for support, whether it's from loved ones, a therapist, or a support group.
There's strength in numbers. What about setting goals?
Setting realistic goals is key. Instead of aiming for drastic weight loss, focus on making small, achievable changes you can sustain over time.
It's about setting ourselves up for success.
And break down larger goals into smaller, more manageable steps.
It's like climbing a staircase, one step at a time.
And remember, progress takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and celebrate those small wins along the way.
Now I'm a big believer in the power of mindful eating.
Mindful eating is all about paying attention to your food and savoring each bite.
It's about slowing down, being present in the moment, and turning off autopilot.
Exactly. And when we eat mindfully, we're more likely to listen to our body's cues and stop eating when we're full.
It's about tuning into our hunger and fullness signals.
And it's about appreciating the flavors, textures, and aromas of our food.
It's about making mealtime a mindful experience.
Now let's talk about something that can be incredibly rewarding. Non-scale victories.
Non-scale victories are those positive changes we notice outside of the number on the scale.
They're those little wins that remind us that progress is happening even if the scale isn't moving as quickly as we'd like.
What are some examples of non-scale victories?
One is having more energy throughout the day. Another is noticing that your clothes fit better. Some people experience improvements in their sleep, mood, or digestion.
It's like a ripple effect of positive changes.
And don't forget about the mental and emotional benefits. Feeling more confident, empowered, and proud of yourself. Those are all incredible non-scale victories.
It's about recognizing and celebrating all the ways you're improving your health and well-being. What about those frustrating weight fluctuations?
It's normal for our weight to fluctuate day to day, even if we're doing everything right. Our weight can be affected by factors like hydration levels, hormone changes, sodium intake, and even bowel movements.
It's like our body is this complex ecosystem.
Don't get too hung up on those daily fluctuations. Focus on the overall trend over time.
Zoom out and look at the bigger picture.
Now let's talk about tracking progress.
I think it's so important to track our progress. It helps us stay motivated, identify patterns, and make adjustments as needed.
It's like having a roadmap for your weight loss journey. Keeping a food journal is a popular method.
It's about becoming more mindful of our eating habits and identifying areas where we can make healthier choices.
Some people track their exercise too. Whether it's logging workouts in a fitness app or jotting down your activity in a notebook, tracking your movement can keep you consistent and motivated.
And don't forget to track those non-scale victories. Write those down too. It's a great way to document all the amazing ways you're improving your health and well-being.
Now let's talk about something that's incredibly important. Celebrating successes.
We need to celebrate those wins, big or small.
Absolutely. When you achieve a goal, whether it's losing weight, reaching a fitness milestone, or simply making a healthy choice, acknowledge it, celebrate it. It's like giving yourself a pat on the back for all your hard work.
And those celebrations don't have to be grand or extravagant. Simple acts of self-care like a relaxing bath, massage, or spending time doing something you love can be incredibly rewarding.
It's about rewarding yourself for your efforts and reinforcing positive behaviors.
Now, what about setbacks? We all have them, and they can be so discouraging.
Setbacks are an inevitable part of the journey, but it's important to remember they're not failures. They're opportunities to learn and grow.
It's about getting back on track and continuing to move forward.
Don't be afraid to ask for support when you need it.
Now, let's talk about something that can make or break our success. Mindset.
Our mindset is incredibly powerful. It can either help us succeed or sabotage our efforts.
So how do we cultivate a positive mindset for weight loss?
One strategy is to focus on progress, not perfection. We all make mistakes, and that's okay.
It's about being kind to ourselves and celebrating small wins.
And another important aspect is to believe in yourself. You can achieve your goals.
It's about having faith in your strength and resilience.
And remember, weight loss is not a race. It's a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time.
Okay, I'm a huge planner, so I love this next topic, planning.
Planning ahead can help us make healthier choices and stay on track with our goals.
What are some effective planning strategies?
One helpful tip is to plan your meals for the week.
I'm all about that. It helps me avoid making impulsive, unhealthy choices when I'm hungry.
Exactly. If you know you'll be eating out, check the menu ahead of time and choose a healthy option. And always pack healthy snacks to take with you on the go.
It's like having your own personal snack bar.
And don't forget to plan your exercise. Schedule it into your week, just like any other important appointment.
It's about making time for our health.
Now, let's talk about accountability.
Having someone to hold us accountable is so helpful.
It's like having a cheerleader in your corner, rooting for you and reminding you why you started this journey in the first place.
So, who can we turn to for accountability?
A friend or family member working towards their own health goals can be a great accountability partner. A personal trainer or health coach can provide professional guidance and support. And there are online communities and support groups where you can connect with others on a similar path.
It's like having a virtual support system. What about education?
The more we know about nutrition, exercise, and healthy habits, the better equipped we'll be to make informed choices.
It's about arming ourselves with knowledge. Where can we find reliable information?
There are many reputable sources online. Government websites, professional organizations, evidence-based health blogs. Just be discerning. Choose sources that are credible and trustworthy.
And don't be afraid to consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian for personalized guidance.
Exactly. They can tailor advice to your individual needs. Now let's talk about setting intentions.
I love the idea of setting intentions.
It's about consciously choosing how we want to show up in our lives, including our health and well-being.
It's about aligning our actions with our values. How do we set intentions for weight loss?
Start by reflecting on why you want to lose weight. What are your reasons, your goals? What's important to you?
Connect with your deeper motivations.
Once you've identified your intentions, write them down and keep them somewhere visible as a reminder.
It's like a personal mission statement for your weight loss journey.
And remember, intentions can evolve. They can change as you do.
What about gratitude? How can that play a role?
Practicing gratitude can shift our focus from what we lack to what we have, appreciating the good, even amidst challenges.
So how do we cultivate gratitude in our weight loss journey?
A simple practice is to keep a gratitude journal. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Big or small, it doesn't matter.
It's like training our brains to notice and appreciate the positives.
When we focus on gratitude, we're less likely to engage in negative self-talk, and we're more likely to make healthy choices.
Gratitude creates a positive ripple effect. Okay, let's talk about self-care.
Self-care is about prioritizing our physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
Nurturing ourselves from the inside out.
Exactly. Self-care can take many forms, from getting enough sleep and eating nutritious foods to engaging in activities that bring us joy and relaxation.
It's about listening to our bodies and giving ourselves permission to rest and recharge.
And self-care is not selfish. It's essential for overall well-being.
Now let's address something that I know I struggle with. Perfectionism.
Perfectionism is the enemy of progress. It sets us up for disappointment and can lead to all-or-nothing thinking.
It's like striving for an unattainable ideal.
And when we fall short, we're more likely to give up.
So how do we overcome perfectionism?
Focus on progress, not perfection. We all make mistakes. Be kind to yourself and celebrate those small wins.
And challenge those negative thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back.
Reframe your thinking and focus on what you can control.
Okay, what about patience?
Patience is essential. Weight loss is not a quick fix. It takes time, effort, and consistency.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Celebrate those small victories and acknowledge your efforts, even if the scale isn't moving as quickly as you'd like.
Enjoy the journey, not just the destination.
And remember, setbacks happen. Don't let them derail you. Learn from them and keep moving forward.
Now, for a big dose of motivation, let's talk about finding your why.
When you connect with your deeper reasons for wanting to lose weight, you're more likely to stay committed and make healthy choices.
It's about tapping into our intrinsic motivation. How do we find our why?
Reflect on what's important to you. Your values, your goals, your vision for your life.
Connect with your vision for the future.
Write down your why and keep it somewhere visible.
It's like a personal mission statement for your weight loss journey.
And remember, your why can evolve and change as you do.
What about the power of visualization?
Visualization is a powerful tool. It helps us create the reality we desire.
It's about using our imagination to manifest our goals. How do we use visualization for weight loss?
Find a quiet place to relax, close your eyes, and imagine yourself at your goal weight. Visualize yourself engaging in healthy habits, making nutritious choices, and moving your body with ease.
Create a mental picture of the future you desire.
And feel those emotions associated with achieving your goals. The pride, the confidence, the joy.
Embody the feeling of success.
Repeat this visualization regularly. The more you visualize, the more real it becomes.
Okay, I'm ready to manifest my dream body. What about affirmations?
Affirmations are positive statements that can help reprogram our subconscious mind and create new beliefs.
It's like planting seeds of positivity in our thoughts.
Choose affirmations that resonate with you and your goals.
Statements that feel empowering and inspiring.
Repeat them regularly, either out loud or silently, and believe in the power of your words. Your thoughts and beliefs shape your reality.
Now, I know we've touched on mindfulness before, but I think it's worth diving a little deeper.
Mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment without judgment.
Being fully engaged in our experience, both internally and external.
A simple practice is to bring awareness to your breath. Notice the sensation as you inhale and exhale.
It's like anchoring ourselves in the present moment.
And when you eat, practice mindful eating. Pay attention to the flavors, textures, and aromas. Savor each bite and listen to your body's cues.
It's about turning off autopilot and really experiencing our food.
Mindfulness can also be applied to exercise. Pay attention to the sensations in your body as you move.
Connect with the physical experience. Find joy in movement.
Now let's talk about something that can be a major source of temptation. Food cravings.
Ugh, those cravings can be so hard to resist.
Food cravings are normal, but you can manage them.
So what can we do when those cravings hit?
Identify their triggers. Is it stress, boredom, hormonal changes?
Play detective with those cravings.
Once you've identified the triggers, you can develop strategies to cope in a healthy way.
Find alternatives to food that address the underlying need.
And if you decide to indulge, do so mindfully. Savor each bite and enjoy the experience.
It's about making peace with food and not feeling deprived.
Now, let's talk about something that can really sabotage our efforts. Lack of sleep.
I know when I'm sleep deprived, my willpower goes right out the window.
It's like our body is running on fumes, our hormones go haywire, our energy plummets, and those cravings intensify.
So how much sleep do we really need?
Most adults need around 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. It's like hitting the reset button for our bodies and minds.
Sleep is the foundation of a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. And when we prioritize sleep, we set ourselves up for success, including our weight loss journey.
Okay, we've talked about a lot of individual factors, but I think it all comes down to this: consistency.
Consistency is key when it comes to creating lasting healthy habits.
It's about showing up for ourselves every day, even when we don't feel like it.
It's about making healthy choices part of your routine. And remember, consistency doesn't equal perfection. We all slip up.
It's about getting back on track and continuing to move forward.
The more consistent you are, the more those healthy habits become ingrained in your lifestyle.
It's like creating a positive feedback loop. But before we wrap up, I think it's crucial to talk about self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance is about embracing yourself, flaws and all. It's about recognizing your worthiness regardless of your weight or appearance.
When we accept ourselves, we're more likely to make choices that support our well-being.
Self-love is the foundation of a healthy lifestyle.
And self-acceptance is a journey, not a destination. It's something we cultivate over time.
Yeah, it really is. Self-acceptance can be so empowering. It allows us to approach our health journey from a place of self-love rather than self-criticism.
Yeah, so true. Okay, so let's wrap up by revisiting some of the key takeaways from Healthline's 14 common reasons. You're not losing weight. We've debunked some myths, explored some surprising factors, and hopefully given you a fresh perspective on those pesky weight loss plateaus.
It's been quite a deep dive. We started by challenging that notion that the scale is like the be-all and end-all of progress, highlighting, the importance of body composition and those non-scale victories.
We tackled those sneaky culprits like eating too fast, sleep deprivation, and the hidden sugars in those seemingly healthy foods.
And we explored the more complex interplay of factors like stress, alcohol, medical conditions, and even the emerging research on food addiction.
It's clear that weight loss is not like this one-size-fits-all journey. Yeah. It's about understanding your individual needs, seeking support when you need it, and just adopting a holistic approach that addresses not just, your diet and exercise, but also your mindset, your emotional well-being, your overall lifestyle.
Absolutely. And, one final thought I want to leave you with is this. Focus on making one small, sustainable change at a time. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick one thing that resonated with you from this deep dive and make it a priority.
I love that. So ask yourself, what one change feels most doable for you right now? Start there and celebrate those small wins. Remember, progress, not perfection. Every step you take towards a healthier you is a victory worth celebrating.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in your ability to achieve your goals.
Until next time, happy diving.